Contemporary Fighting Arts presents the Fast Track audiobook series, Punching, Tips, Skills, and Techniques. Just about every martial artist and self-defense technician will agree that punching is a very demanding art form requiring lots of arduous training to master. However, what some don't know is there are subtle yet critical body mechanic truths that can dramatically improve your punching technique. So what follows are some commonly overlooked tips and suggestions that will improve the overall effectiveness of your blows in a street fighting situation. First and foremost, learn how to make a proper fist. It's ironic how some of the most experienced fighters, kung fu masters, and even boxing coaches don't know how to make a proper fist. Actually, improper fist clenching can be disastrous for a number of reasons. You can jam, sprain, or break your fingers. You can destroy your wrist alignment, resulting in a sprained or broken wrist. And most importantly, you'll lose significant power when striking. To make a proper fist, and when I say proper fist, I'm referring to one that you would use in a street fight, it's not that difficult. Actually, it's very easy. Begin by tightly clenching your four fingers evenly in the palm of your hand. Now make certain that your thumb is wrapped securely around your second and third knuckle and flex down towards the wrist. Essentially, your fist should resemble a brick. I've been involved in the combat arts for well over 2 decades, and I can tell you that I've come across some very strange and bizarre hand configurations when it comes to punching. Some of these exotic hand configurations are idiosyncratic, while others are a staple for a particular martial art style or system. Regardless of its origin, exotic hand configurations such as those found in traditional martial arts do not have a place in real-world street combat. Just remember, the human hand is a very delicate and fragile tool that can easily be sprained or broken in a volatile combat situation. The next one is going to seem obvious to you, but you'd be amazed how many people either forget the obvious or they're oblivious to the obvious. This one is tightening your fists on impact. Not only will this action improve the overall speed and efficiency of your technique, but it'll dramatically improve the overall structural integrity of your blow. This means less chance of an injury. I can't tell you the countless times I've seen beginner and advanced students shadow fight in front of a mirror where they're throwing punching techniques, and you'd be amazed how many of them will have their fists semi-clenched. This is a very bad habit that can translate to disaster in a street fight. The next tip is when throwing punching tools, circular or linear, make certain that your wrists are correctly aligned with your forearm. Now, when I say circular and linear, when I refer to a circular tool or a circular punching technique, I'm referring to something like a hook or an uppercut. When I say linear technique, I'm referring to something like a lead straight or a rear cross. Anyway, what you must remember when throwing either a linear or a circular technique is if your wrist bends or collapses on impact, you're either going to sprain or break it. And just about any well-seasoned street fighter will tell you is a sprained or broken wrist will put you immediately out of commission in a street fight. When used properly, the heavy bag will actually train you to keep your wrist straight when delivering powerful punches. The next important tip is to learn to make contact with your center knuckle. This is important for some reasons. Number one is it'll maximize the impact of your blow. 2, it'll afford proper skeletal alignment and helps prevent unnecessary wrist sprains. It's very important to understand that you want to avoid striking your assailant with your first 2 knuckles. Now, this is very common in karate schools. They usually hit with the front 2 knuckles. This impact area diffuses the weight transfer of your blow and can actually cause a sprain or broken wrist. By that I mean if you throw a linear shot and you make contact with the first 2 knuckles, the force is going to diffuse to the lateral sides of your fists, and chances are it's going to break, it's going to snap laterally. You'd be amazed how many traditional martial arts have been punching like this for years and been literally getting away with it. But in the street fights, it's a whole different game. So you have to be very careful. In CFA, Contemporary Fighting Arts, I train my people to always strike with the center knuckle. This again is going to make your punch efficient, effective, and most importantly, safe. Learn to stabilize and move. Now, when delivering a blow from a stationary position, you want to apply what we call in contemporary fighting arts the stabilizer and mover theory. Essentially, this means torquing one side of your body, the striking side of course, while simultaneously stabilizing the other side. Applying this theory of body mechanics maximizes the power of your blows and certainly minimizes the loss of balance. Let me remind you though that the stabilizer mover theory only applies to delivering blows when stationary. It does not apply to a situation where you're using what we call a half step or a full step. Now, working in conjunction with the stabilizer mover theory are the three anatomical power generators. Now, power generators are specific anatomical locations that allow you to maximally torque your body into the blow. They include the shoulders, hips, and feet. Remember that maximally torquing your body into the blow will increase both the force and the penetration of the overall shot. You should employ all three power generators under the following circumstances. When first introduced to a punching or striking technique, it'll help you acquire body mechanic mastery. Your power generators can also be used when delivering some first strike techniques from a stationary position. Just keep in mind that in most street fighting situations, it's best to utilize the first two power generators, the shoulder and the hips, in conjunction with forward movement when delivering a compound attack. Next is learn to snap your punches. Punches should crack or snap when they hit a target. Here are a few suggestions to ensure that your punches will snap on impact. First, try to accurately time the delivery of the blow. Learn to properly judge the distance of your impact target. Avoid excessive follow-through when striking your target. Also, focus on retracting your blow without sacrificing neutralizing power. And finally, avoid fully extending your elbow when punching a target. Avoid the tendency to lock out your elbows. Now, elbow locking is a common problem among novices. When delivering a linear blow, your arm should be extended toward the target until the elbow is no more than 3 inches short of full extension. After contact is made with the target, the fist is returned back to the on-guard position. If your elbows lock on impact, it will have a pushing effect and rob you of critical power. Remember, your line of initiation is your line of retraction. When executing linear blows like lead straights, rear crosses, finger jabs, palm heels, remember that your line of initiation should always be your line of retraction. Avoid arcing or dropping your blows. Such sloppy body mechanics will throw you off balance, minimize your impact power, and open you up for a possibility of counterattack.
SammyFranco.com. No belts, no rituals, no nonsense.